Carlo Ritchie here in Melbourne for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Got a couple of shows on.
Yeah, 18 over the 2 weeks I'm here.
Yep.
So yeah, very exciting times,
Yeah.
really. Keeping myself as busy as possible.
Great. How are you enjoying the festival so far?
It's really terrific. I mean, it's about as close. I mean, you end up working quite hard in the evenings.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a little bit like a holiday at the same time because you've got your days free all of a sudden, and so it's pretty bliss.
Yeah.
Really.
Awesome. You're in the improv sketch duo group, the Bear Pack with Steen Raskopoulos. How did you get into improv?
I had never really thought about doing improv or anything like that, and then I went to Sydney University, and Sydney University had this really quite well-established improv scene of doing theatre sports, and I used to go and watch it on Thursday afternoons. And then one day this Canadian duo came called Scratch, and they were just incredible.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I would love to do, and I went the next week to their open jams. And then Steen was the teacher, and I sort of learned improv from him for a year. And then he said, "Hey, do you want to do a little duo show?" And then here we are.
I caught the show last night. You do kind of like stitch each other up a little bit, like try and get the other one into like tricky situations. Is that all part of the fun?
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, because we trust each other so much, and we have such a good stage rapport.
Yeah.
It's kind of we like to push each other's boundaries.
Yeah.
And we know each other's weaknesses. Like last night, Steen made me do a Greek accent.
Yeah.
Which I just can't do.
Yeah. No, you did fine.
I don't. I used a few phrases I knew of Greek, and then bro.
Yeah. That was the highlight.
Really good accent work there.
Yeah. Do you like practice with Steen ahead of a show to kind of get into it, or you just kind of go?
No, we don't really do anything. We like lie on the floor and kind of just chill out and then go on and do it.
Yeah, so you're also doing a solo show,
That's right.
Cooking for No One. It's kind of a little bit different to the Bear Pack, because it's like a stand-up show.
That's right, yeah.
So how did that sort of all happen? Why did you kind of want to move away from improv?
I guess I always felt like I was being a little lazy being down at the festivals, because I would come down and we would do Bear Pack together, and then Steve would do his solo show, and I would feel like I was just sort of coasting along and doing this late night improv show.
Yeah.
So part of the motivation was that.
Yeah.
And then also like I really wanted to do a stand-up show, and every time I would come to watch other friends of mine do stand-up, I would go like, I really just want to get up and do some stand-up, and so wrote the show and brought it down.
Is it weird to actually like have written a show rather than like something that's just completely improv and you're doing a run that you don't know what you're going to do, and then you've got like this rehearsed
totally.
show? Yeah.
I like it because you're kind of honing in the same material and you're getting it till it's like really super sharp. I mean, like in Bear Pack, things are funny, but sometimes you'll work out a joke as you're doing it on the stage, or you work out, this could be funny if I did this. Yeah. Whereas this, you're working that out days or weeks ahead of time, and then you sort of sharpen, which is a really exciting process to be involved in.
We did a few trial shows in Sydney.
Yeah.
I saw one. It was very good.
Oh, thanks.
Do those trial shows kind of help you for like the festival?
Oh, totally. I mean, the show that I'm doing now is very different to the first trial show I did in Sydney, for example. I think it's really important to have the opportunity to put the whole 50 minutes out there, just so you can work out which bits don't work or which bits need jokes. I mean, my show is pretty bleak, I would say. It's pretty, deals with some pretty dark subject matter. Okay. And so when you do a trial, you go, there's 15 minutes there where there's no laughs, so maybe something needs to change there.
Yeah. What are the deep, dark issues you're delving into?
One of the bigger themes of the show is around death or suicide. That's, but I promise you, I approach it in a very respectful and funny way.
Yeah, great. Is that difficult?
To go on that subject matter, you mean?
Yeah.
I think so, because you don't want to be like, suicide, guys.
Yeah.
You got to approach it in a way that's not making light of it, but then also at the same time you want to.
It's a comedy show.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make a joke from it. So,
cool.
It was certainly hard to get the right notes. And as I discovered in my trial show, if you don't hit certain beats the right way, it's a pretty confronting show.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, I saw the show, and it's a bit about like the Titanic. Sort of, it's in there. Mm-hmm. What's your fascination with Titanic, Carlo?
I don't know. I always have been fascinated. Like from the first time I heard about the Titanic, I just sort of would pore over Titanic books.
Yeah.
And this time I was like, you know what, this is. I think so much about the Titanic. It kind of is constantly in my mind. Every time I drive my car, for example, when I turn sharp corners, in my mind I think like of the directions that were being ordered to each other to try and avoid the iceberg.
Wow.
I think I'm porting around corners and stuff.
So it never leaves you.
Yeah. So it's constantly in my mind. I was like, well, I would like to make some jokes out of this at least. So it cannot be just an all-consuming thing. It can also be a funny thing in my mind.
Yeah, cool. All right. I read that you studied linguistics at university. What sort of attracted you to want to do that?
I had never really learned any languages. I'd learned a little bit of German growing up. My mum is like half German, half Turkish, so I had a little bit of exposure to German growing up, but I never really learned another language until I went overseas. And then I started learning other languages, like this is amazing. But then there's this sort of spark of, you start realising that there are these small languages that only a couple of people speak.
Yeah.
And I started thinking more about like Aboriginal languages in Australia, and there's a huge number of small languages here. And it just got really, I don't know, it was a really fascinating area that you never really hear a lot about. You kind of associate a country with a language. So I was like, well, I just want to study this. Like I wanted to study law, and then after I spent a year overseas, I was like, nah, I want to do linguistics.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And I read that you work with like endangered languages.
Vimishuras, yeah.
Yep. How did you, like, what attracted you about that language?
It was just a weird one in that I had worked very close to where the language is spoken in Poland, but never heard of it. And so when someone was like, oh, there's this, well, not when someone, when I found on this sort of linguistic resource online that this language was there in southern Poland, I was like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
And so I just got in touch with them, and they invited me over, and I ended up living with the community and learning the language. And I just got kind of really hooked into it.
Yeah, cool. And I saw that you've written like the first children's book in the language as well.
Right, yeah.
I tried to I wanted to read it. It was very hard to try and translate it, probably because only 40 people
speak it. There's no Google Translate.
No. And maybe that's something you could work on.
Maybe.
Why did you want to write that book?
Well, up until that book, they didn't have any learning resources for children.
Yeah.
And they're trying to revitalise the language, so they're going to need as much stuff as they can get. Yeah. So I wanted to write that book as a kind of thank you to the town for having me there. Really.
Any other future projects?
I really want to translate The Hobbit next year.
Well, it won't take you long, should it?
Yeah, just a few years.
The rest of your life. Yeah, that's cool though, yeah.
But that takes a lot more doing. You have to get permission from the publisher.
Yeah, right. Maybe say a phrase in the language, or try and teach me. Maybe don't try and teach me, I'm not going to be a good student. But do you have a great phrase, your favourite?
I don't know, favourite. I really like Hilfgut, which means with the help of God, and it's what you say when you cheers.
Oh yeah.
But what I like about it is because you say Hilfgut, and then everyone says Sein gut, with the help of God, and everyone's it'll be God, which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
And then one of my favourite words actually in Vimishuras is Milkjedremel, which means butterfly.
Yeah.
But what I really like about it is it means fluttering way.
Okay.
And when I heard that, I was like, fluttering way? That doesn't make any sense. And I was like, oh wait, butterfly.
Yeah.
And it's like flying butter, and in Vimishuras it's like
Oh,
fluttering way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it excited me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think you'll incorporate it in any way in your comedy, maybe?
I think I would like to maybe do a show about Vimishuras at some point.
Yeah.
That's still the material that's eluding me, is how to make funny the circumstances of language death.
Yeah.
But one day.
Yeah. Sweet. Cool. And you're at the festival. There's over 550 shows. Who are you excited to see yourself?
I really want to see Rose Matafeo.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of my favourite comics. And of course across David Quirk, who's like my favourite Australian comic. And if I can see those two, I'll be a happy man.
Oh, great.
And then there's some fruity stuff as well. Like my improv partner Steen, I have this tradition that the first show on the first night that I get in Melbourne, I always go and see Steen.
Yep.
And it was a really great show this
Yeah.
year. So I might see it again towards the end of this run.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
It's very good. For those that want to maybe get into stand-up or improv, do you have any advice for them?
I think, look, it's a really fun aspect of theatre.
Yeah.
Like when I teach improv, I always say to people, like, don't stress about being funny. Like improv isn't about being funny; it's about being a character and interacting with other characters on stage. And I think as soon as you lose the pressure of being funny, it becomes a much easier prospect.
Oh, cool. All right, well, that's it. All I got. That's all my questions.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Carlo.
Oh,
and
thanks
enjoy
for
the
having me.
festival as well.
No, thank you.
Cool.